Get our free mobile app on your smartphone or tablet and listen anywhere. Download it free at Google Play or the App Store. Search KDXU.
Morning, everybody. It's time for the St. George Real Estate Thursday Morning Drive with Jeremy Larkin. Good morning, Jeremy.
Hey, have you seen him? Oh, hey guys. Good morning.
That's you.
Well, I'm still waking up. You know what I mean? Come on. Oh, we're gonna have a fun show today. I've got Mindy Larkin Albrecht, my cousin, commenting on Facebook, so you know it's good. I've got an incredible guest. Say good morning to us, Danielle.
Good morning, Jared.
There you go. Good morning, Danielle Larkin. Yes, the other Larkin. Everybody's asking about the other Larkin now. We're gonna have her on in about 5 minutes. But first, Andy, hear this, Jesse. What? It's Jesse Paul's 49th birthday. Woo! He couldn't hear it. I had to put the headphones up to his ears. 49 years.
I'm the cameraman today.
He's the cameraman. How incredible. Listen, let the people on Facebook Live see you this morning. Would you step in here to YouTube Live?
See.
This guy. Woo! All right, guys. Is it true? 49, right?
Yep. I just realized he's closer to mine than he is to yours.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, well, kind of. I'm 44, right?
53.
So, okay, so you've got me edged. Hey, man. Listen, I can't think of a better guy. He and I have kind of got, I don't know, his is less flannel, mine's flannel, but we almost twinned it up here today. So Jesse is our cameraman, and normally my co-host here, but big 4-9 today. What are you going to do for your birthday?
Fly to Boston.
Haha, that's exactly
Go
right.
see my
Flying
grandkids.
Boston?
So tell me how cool this is. So he has grandkids in Boston, and when they moved out there, they said, we'll go, they really committed to quarterly, 4 times a year.
Wow.
We will go quarterly and see them. And like clockwork,
So
Danielle.
amazing.
Yeah, and whether they should or shouldn't, or can or can't, they just go. They pick up and go, you know? So it's pretty dang cool. You don't have any grandkids yet.
I didn't have them kids.
I know.
Nobody's relented.
I know.
No
I
rush.
know.
No.
I know. She's got some cool kids. So we'll talk to Danielle momentarily. She's running for St. George City Council, and she is my friend first, and married into the family,
I did.
right, with cousin Darren, who's one of my, literally one of my favorite people on the planet, and love riding bikes with that dude. Last time we got out was Friday. It was fantastic. It was fantastico. So, guys, incredible, Andy. We've got Dixie State Homecoming this week. Where'd you graduate from college?
I graduated from Utah State University.
Okay, very good. Very good. I'm a Dixie guy. You know, on my bio, East Elementary, Dixie Middle, Dixie High, Dixie State University,
Dixie guy.
Southern Utah University. I know.
How'd you do that? Because it wasn't actually, when you went, Dixie State was only a junior college.
Yeah, well, correct. And so I had to go finish somewhere, and amazingly, they let me through. The funny part about my SUU experience is that literally I drove there, I'd go to school all day long, I'd come home. I didn't go to a game. Literally, I did not attend a singular event of any kind that you would do as a college student, other than I drove there. I was married and that young, and just I went, showed up, did what I needed to, drove away. Right? I hopped in the Mazda 626. That's what I was driving at the time. I think it was fast, man. I might have gone 100 a lot of times down the freeway.
Were you driving that in the winter though, at Black Ridge and everything?
Yeah, I don't know. It worked out somehow it worked out. So Dixie State University homecoming this week. They've got an incredible alumni speaker, Jeffrey R. Holland. A lot of us know who he is.
Really?
Yeah, he's
did not know that.
Spoke at your grandma's funeral.
yeah, I know, isn't he amazing? So people know him, of course, as one of the apostles of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but really, he's St. George, born and bred local, and grew up like with my father, and they were childhood friends and went to Dixie High School, and just a regular kid, right? So he's going to be speaking at Dixie State. They've got their homecoming parade Saturday, 10 a.m., homecoming game Saturday, 1 p.m., and then something really cool that's going on this weekend, and Danielle's actually involved in this, is the St. George Bicycle Collective, right? Which anniversary is this?
Well, it's the anniversary of us moving into
Moving
our
to the
building.
building. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
So
thought.
we were organized a few years before
Right.
this anniversary. was our anniversary of getting into our building on the boulevard and really getting under the umbrella of the bicycle club and something,
And we-
501c3.
And we still need another building.
And we still need another building.
Separate
Thank you.
conversation.
Yeah.
So, and this is gonna be fun, so, they're holding that little anniversary at 12 noon, and they've got live music right on the boulevard.
Amanda Barrett, and something people probably don't know about our director, Judith, is that she is an amazing fiddle player.
I saw
So
a photo
come check that
advertising
out.
it, I'm like, is that
She's
a
off the
fiddle?
charts, yeah.
It's kinda cool.
Could she win the golden fiddle from the devil? You know,
Maybe.
devil went down to Georgia,
Maybe.
right?
She could.
She
Judith
could,
is,
right?
we don't know how we got her because she's kind of a genius. She speaks 5 languages. So
Oh,
if you
mercy.
haven't had the opportunity to get to know Judith,
Pretty
meet
cool.
her. She's
Pretty
neat.
cool. So that's what's going on this week. This is my October 15th, November 15th, my favorite 30 days of the year.
Really?
The weather. I just, like, I love everything about it. I love the colors changing. It's incredible. So, gang, check it out, this week, this weekend.
Towards
Let's-
St. George too,
Yeah,
there.
tour of St. George is Saturday, so if you like to get out on a road bike, and what's the shortest distance? Is 30 the
30.
shortest? They do it 30?
30.
That's 50, 60
I
something.
think
and
it's a 60
and
and
then
100.
100 miles. You wanna ride 100 miles? Then?
I couldn't do it.
Okay,
Maybe a motorcycle.
well, I didn't ask if you could, I asked if you wanted to.
Come
Okay.
you can come
Nah.
pace car for us.
Oh
I'm
my
actually driving
gosh.
400 to Logan to do a football game. on Saturday, so.
You know what, you do it. Which game is it?
Hurricane Ridgeline.
Yeah, playoff game.
Yeah, playoff.
Very cool. How's Dixie doing? How's my Dixie doing? Because I haven't followed them at all this year.
Dixie has a bye this week, and then they'll actually get the winner of this Hurricane Ridgeline game at home next Friday.
Woo! All right, we'll go to that one.
Dixie
There you
play
go.
level, number 3 in the state.
Very good. So it shows what kind of fan I am this year, but there you go. All right, should we transition?
Sure.
I think we should. Happy birthday again, Jesse.
Thank you.
Big 4-9. Danielle Larkin, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Larkin. I have one of her signs in my yard. Here's the fun part, because there may be other city council candidates who go, well, I didn't get in your show, it's my show. How do you like that for a response?
You paid for the show?
Well,
It's your show.
and then, because what I like to do is just nail the objection before it comes out, and then the listeners that go, well, that's pretty partisan maybe, or, yeah, it is, actually it is.
No, they're gonna call it
Yeah.
nepotism.
Yeah, it's very much nepotism, and I like Danielle, and I actually really, I'm very biased, and I think she has some important things to say, and said, hey, come on the show and talk to us. Want to talk to her about running for St. George City Council, bike lanes, why we need a bikeable, walkable city, why that matters, things that people don't think they care about, but they'd be shocked, and growth, right? This is like hot button. So, Danielle, give us your 30-second background, like where you're from.
Well, I grew up in Salt Lake, born in Mesa, Arizona, but grew up in Salt Lake City. Came down here to go to what was then Dixie College.
Yeah, Dixie State, Dixie.
State, and met Jared's cousin, Darren, in the
Yeah.
parking lot. First day I was here, met him in the parking lot with Ron Glines.
Oh, the Glines,
The
Larkin
Glines
combo.
boys, yeah.
They
it
all
was
lived
the
on the same
combo.
street in Morningside Estates.
Cute boys.
Love at first time?
Well, no, I mean, yeah, friends at first sight, and then, but let me tell you, if you marry a St. George boy, you don't leave St. George, right, Jared?
Yeah, you're stuck. You're
Because
stuck.
St. George is such a lovely place to live that we actually moved to Salt Lake for 1 year, and my husband every morning, I can't live here.
Is that what
I
he said?
can't live here, it's so cold, I can't live here, and so, yeah,
Yeah.
day after day after day, I was like, all right, we gotta get him back home.
Well, and some fun background is, Darren, her husband, owns L&L Mechanical Contractors, and Danielle, I guess you're the vice president. Is that how you're listed as?
I
I
am
know.
the vice
Yeah,
president.
VP. So L&L Mechanical was a family business, right? She's been out digging, putting pipe in the ground this morning, right?
She doesn't look like it.
And I have a funny Kevin Shakespeare reference about the internet and putting pipe in the ground. Don't let me forget this momentarily,
Okay.
because it's gonna be a show classic.
Right.
But L&L Mechanical was Larkin Plumbing and Heating, and my grandfather, Herman the Scene Plumber in the 1930s, had his plumbing business on Tabernacle right next to the Electric Theater.
Herman
the Scene Plumber.
Yes.
So, he died in 1948 in a plane crash. This is crazy. And, my father at the time was 7 years old, and Darren's, her father-in-law, who's her late father-in-law, he passed away. So my father and then his brother, they were, I think, 7 and like 10 at the
I think
time.
Ray was 11.
Yeah, 11. And their whole life, of course, changed, because in 1948, when your dad died in a plane crash, it's just a different world, right? people were like, they had private planes, they did. And, but they started a company called Larkin Plumbing, which became
Eleanor.
Mechanical Contractors, and then Darren bought them out the old fashioned way. So, classic. So, years ago, I was at a church meeting with my cousin, Kevin Shakespeare, who's a Cedar City guy. And this is when everybody was moving to online stuff to do church organization. And we're like, Kevin, we sent, this thing went out by email, right? And he's like, I don't check email. And we're like, Kevin, what do you mean you don't check email? Everything's on the internet. And he said he's with Tom's Mechanical, right? Kevin's a fantastic commercial heating and air conditioning and plumbing, like big Tom Shakespeare. He said, listen, the internet don't put pipes in the ground. Is that, tell me that is not a classic. The internet don't put pipes in the ground.
Classic Kevin
Boom,
Shakespeare.
mic drop, end of story.
That's it.
And we were like, yeah, you're right. Okay,
Love that guy.
so coming back, we're having fun, aren't we? So Danielle, running for city council, tell us first election date, the actual, like, when do people have to vote by?
So if you want to send your mail-in ballot, it's got to be postmarked before or by November 4th, which is a Monday. If you would like to vote in person, you've got to go to the polls. The one polling location, which I believe is going to be the Dixie Center, and that will be open on November 5th. The reason there's only one is because everybody loved the mail-in ballots, and they were really popular, and I think only in the 80 to 90 range of people came and voted in person when they had the 4 locations open
Whoa.
for the primary.
But I always like getting the little butterscotch candies.
I know, you missed
When
out
I-
on that, and the sticker.
And the sticker, I mean,
The sticker.
but I really look forward to that, Andy.
Well,
You
you
know
know,
what, though?
I like how Dave Cordero put it. He said, if you prefer the voting experience, go down to the Dixie Center. He actually called it the voting experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, somebody who works here actually at your studio was sharing with me what a great experience they had, including their kids, the mail-in ballot, because they sat down at the kitchen table, opened up the ballot,
Yeah.
and said to their kids, okay, we're gonna sit here with the computer, we're gonna research everybody, and then they said to their kids, you tell me who you're gonna vote for. I love that.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, and some of these may seem like prehistoric questions, but really a lot of people don't know. Okay, so November 4th, they could have this wrapped up by,
Yeah.
the Dixie Center if they want it. I've got my ballot sitting on the kitchen table, just sitting there because I keep debating whether I'm gonna physically go in.
Well, Jerry, you live close enough. You can drop your ballot. There's also a ballot drop boxes if you don't want to use a stamp. There's ballot drop boxes in one of the library
Yeah.
by your house.
Half of a block from my home, a block. So, how many candidates on the ballot, and how many people vote for this year? How many seats are actually available?
There are 3 seats available. So what it says on the ballot is you can vote for up to 3.
Yeah.
So sometimes people get a little confused by that. So they can vote for 1, 2, or 3
Yeah.
candidates, whatever they choose.
Uh-huh.
There will be 3 people who are elected, and there's
Yeah.
currently 6 people running.
Yeah, and it's very cool. And honestly,
All good people.
I was
Good
about to
people.
say, like, she may be, people say, oh, that's a political thing. I actually know Danielle. I mean, I actually believe you believe that. And I do too. I think there's like fantastic candidates this year.
The thing
and-
about St. George that's so interesting is, like I said earlier, my husband, he just loves living here. I love living here. Everybody loves living here. So you get a pool of candidates, even though we had the 13 candidates that were originally in, just amazing people.
Yep. This year, Greg Aldred, Betty Ariel, Ed Baca, Jimmy Hughes, Danielle, of course, here in the studio, Danielle Larkin, Greg MacArthur. So, and these are all great people. Okay, so I had the chance, Danielle, to ride my bike Wednesday, or Tuesday. I caught a leading bike ride because it's incredible outside. And I came up the bike lane demo.
Thank you.
And our time is gonna, first of all, it's gonna zip right away and we're gonna lose it. So we're gonna nail these quick. But I went through the bike lane demo. This is South Main Street. And they had set up literally a demo so people could see what it would be like if we had a dedicated, not one bike lane, but a dual, what's the order?
It's
Bi-directional.
called a cycle track
Yeah.
when it's made like that.
Okay, a bi-directional cycle track. So I can go up it, I can go down it, and then there would be these little plastic like pylons
Right.
protecting me. How did that go? And why did they do this?
We did it because we wanted people to see what the possibilities were for St. George.
Right.
You know, I mean, people are constantly complaining about the traffic.
Mhm.
There's things that we can do to, besides just putting in more road, which putting in more road, there was an article this week about the urban heat island effect in Vegas because there's road after road after road after road. And Vegas is currently the hottest, like they've raised their own heat index by almost 6 degrees since 1970.
Is that crazy?
With all this
Raised-
concrete?
Right,
Yes,
yes.
because of all the concrete.
It raised the temperature of the city by 6 degrees.
Right.
I've read this article that she shared.
So there's so many
Wow.
things we can do to tighten up, like use the infrastructure we already have, build in the infrastructure we already have in places that are, you know, underdeveloped. But one of the things that's huge that we can do is allow people alternative forms of transportation, but people will not use them if they don't feel safe.
Correct.
You know, people will bike to work if they feel safe biking to work, and if there's an opportunity for them to have connection. So for instance, right now, our trail system comes to the base of Bluff and Black Ridge, where they all come together and it
Correct.
becomes Main Street. And then
It's
you just
almost
drop
like a
out into-
confluence of sorts. Oh, wait, that's the name of the trail.
Genius.
Yeah.
Confluence.
Yeah.
Yes, so they converge on this space, and
Mhm.
then you're dumped into Main Street, which has zero shoulder.
Oh, Main Street has
It's
like
terrifying.
This is funny. So I've been riding my bike now, like seriously riding my bike for 22 years. I looked back. I started looking. I pulled a data file from Strava, the app, right,
Mhm.
to see how many times I'd ridden in the last. It was insane since 2011. I mean, how many times? I come up Main Street and I literally ride Andy in the ditch.
Yeah, you have
Now,
to.
because I'm a very able cyclist, I can ride in the ditch. But I'm like, I gotta ride in the ditch because if I don't ride in the ditch, I'm gonna get killed.
Jared, what would you do if you had a kid on the back?
Oh, give me a break.
You wouldn't ride in that ditch.
Not a chance. I'd be off on like some random strange side road to get through town. Right?
Well, when it comes to, you know, reaching our citizens who may be living in poverty, have lots of things that they do. Someone said to me the other day, we don't need bikes, we need to feed people, we need all of it. We need accessible housing is what they were saying to me. They're like, what do bikes have to do with this? Well, bikes are one component.
Right.
Walking is one component. Like, we need to be able to safely walk and not just walk. Sometimes you're trying to get from point A to point B and the connection isn't there. So you get halfway there. I don't know if you've ever paid attention to all the people that walk along the side over where Riverside Drive all of a sudden turns into, I think it's 3050 and comes up by Costco.
And they're walking in the dirt because there's not even a
The
sidewalk.
sidewalk ends, and there is so much pedestrian traffic right there, and they're all kind of just trying to navigate the dirt, and where do I go?
Because the trail ends, there's like a half mile of road, and then you can get on the
Yes.
trail, get in a neighborhood.
And in fact, there's a guy that I see almost every time I'm over there who is in a mechanical wheelchair, and he can't do the dirt, so he has to do the side of the road, and I just hold my breath for
Right,
him every
like
time.
this is a problem.
He deserves to be able to get safely around the city.
So, walkable, bikeable cities. I love this thing. And Jesse, just if you look at our Facebook feed, if you want to pick this up, gang, on Facebook Live, I've got Danielle Larkin, City Council candidate, here in studio. Facebook.com/Jeremy Larkin. We actually will save this to YouTube. It'll be on our YouTube channel. So Jesse just shared this link. Bike lane on Main Street, bike lane on Main event. And what would be really cool when we're done, we'll put that article in there about that urban heat index
Yeah.
in Las
It's from the
Vegas.
spectrum.
Yeah, like it was already miserably hot in downtown Las Vegas, so what they did is just made it hotter. I got into Danielle a little dialogue. It started out warm enough. There was an article, of course, about the fact that it hadn't rained in 122 days, which is 7 days ago today, which is now
I was just
129
gonna say,
days.
it's now at 129.
And I saw the 10-day this morning, and there's no rain coming, right? So I said, look, guys, of course I blamed it on the Mormons, Mayor John Pike, and Trump, because they are literally, you can scapegoat any of them for anything. However, this got into a little bit of a heated debate because someone jumped in who thought they knew, and I'm going to be real about this, who thinks they know, about development and growth. It's interesting, Jesse and I were talking yesterday. So Jesse, tell me if I have the numbers right. We've sold 1,220 homes. So we figured, Danielle, to sell 1,220 homes for 1,220 families. We had 4,000 meetings. This is where I get crazy. We figured that we've had 100,000 voice-to-voice conversations on the phone as a team.
Wow.
To have 4,000 appointments, to sign enough contracts to sell 1,200. This is 100,000 conversations with people who are like, I'm thinking about buying a home, I'm thinking about selling a home, and here's all of the drama behind my decision, and there's lots of drama behind the decision, as you know. And I kind of pointed out to this guy, I don't think you have a clear understanding, because he got into, I said, hey, look, we live in the desert, we haven't had enough water, we'll get more water, Phoenix got water, you're right, but this is growth, and part of growth, and this guy basically said, you don't understand, we gotta slam the door behind us. Okay. So
So
he
that
said,
would
we
be a
have to,
disaster
yeah,
for our
yeah,
economy.
yeah, and this is fantastic, he said, Danielle, and I quote, we have to protect our community from people moving in who hate us. So how would we even do that?
Yeah, you know,
Right, we
in all,
wouldn't.
in
Is
all.
that the short answer?
Right. We need to embrace our diversity, and I don't
Right.
think people are moving here to hate us. I think people are moving here who love us and who want to be part of what amazing space that we've created here. But there is so much we can do in the name of conservation.
Okay, so let's talk about this, because I said, if you wanna get into governmental controls, but people don't want that, right? The same people who say we need to control what is going on in the community don't
Right.
want control.
Right.
So how do we conserve? Because people are gonna continue moving here, right, Andy? They wanna live in Utah's Dixie. They don't hate us, they're leaving where they're at because they hate it.
Right.
How do we conserve? Like, what are some of your thoughts on that?
Well, number one, landscape eats up 60% of our water.
Wow.
60. So let's start there. Let's start right there, and let's incentivize, in a sense, we need to be having conversations about how we incentivize. And maybe that looks like a tiered water rate, where if people want to pay the same amount they've always paid, which, by the way, we pay a very low amount for water in comparison
Everything
to
we
other
pay for,
communities.
honestly, is low. Other than real estate, actual real estate values, property taxes are low, our cost of living, guys, really, I will argue with anyone, we can show you the index, it's low.
Yeah, we have low water rates. So
Right.
if you want to keep all your grass, and by the way, I speak out of great hypocrisy here because I have mulched my yard and done some things, but I live in Little Valley on an acre and I have a lot of grass. And I need to get rid of some of my grass. There's no question. Like, we work incrementally to do some of those things, and people need to continue incrementally working to make their yards and their landscape more water friendly. There's smart timers. Mulch is huge because you lose a lot of water to evaporation that you don't realize. Removing grass, xeriscape's amazing. Natural scape. You know, people think of xeriscape and they're like, I don't want my yard to be all rocks, but natural scape is gorgeous. You know, use the plants that work
Right,
there.
especially like, well, of course, you go out to Entrada in these places, and they show you how they're
Gorgeous.
totally natural scaping. So a tiered water.
A tiered water rate would mean like you can use the amount of water, a certain amount of water at the rate that you currently have. And then it would give you an incentive to stay within that space. Like, it's estimated right now that we're using about 300 gallons per household per, you know, and so we could cut it back, even if we were to cut it back to 250 to 175. I mean, we would have enough water to meet our growth projections for to like 2050.
So final 2 minutes, and this is funny. So it's like, Andy, oh, you're on a quarter acre, here's the rate for a quarter acre. Oh, but you want to water a half of an acre or 3/4 of an acre? Have at it, you're just gonna cost you more at the rate.
Right.
It's actually insanely, brilliantly simple, right? And it makes complete sense, and I'm not sure why we're there.
Then you have choice.
Yeah, and then you have choice, because then we're not in like, you can only water on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're like, oh, you water whenever you want, but you're gonna pay for it. Final minute, Danielle. So Danielle Larkin, City Council candidate, how do people reach out to you?
I have a website, daniellelarkin.com,
Yeah.
where they can find me on Facebook. I'd love to talk to any of them.
What do
Send
you
me an
think-
email, call me.
This is putting you on the spot. What do you think the biggest problem, challenge is for our community right now?
It's building community. It's people calling and saying, people want to move here to hate us. People don't want to move here to hate us. People want community. They want quality of life. They love living here. People are scared when they say angry things like that. It's because it's out of fear.
Oh my gosh, if I could share the whole thread. Speaking of feeding and bikes and feeding people, St. George basketbrigade.org. We're going to feed 200 families on November 23rd. We're going to physically deliver Thanksgiving to their home, and then they're going to cook it in their own oven and prepare it with their own kids. Visit stgeorgebasketbrigade.org. Folks, it's $50 to feed a family, to feed a full family. Okay? I think we figure a family of like 5. If you want to donate $5, you can donate $5. But we're at about $6,000 of goal, and we're trying to run this up to $15,000 this year. And we like the community participate. So nominate a family or feed a family right there at stgeorgebasketbrigade.org. You can donate $1 if you want. You can donate $500 and serve 10 families. Danielle Larkin, thank you
Thank you.
for coming on here. Guys, reach us anytime. It's sold in stgeorge.com. Sold in stgeorge.com. Happy birthday, Jesse.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Justin.
Is this the article she's talking about?
Done.
Planners hope to reduce
Yep.
Las Vegas urban.
That is the one, man.